Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and then turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now with that said and done and put to the side, I have come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets signing offensive tackle Duane Brown. We have gotten the job done. He is a New York Jet. Joe Douglas was able to make this signing happen, and that's exactly what he did, man. Whew. Whew. Man, that was this whole situation has been crazy, and we're going to discuss everything and the fallout from it. Now, to get to the deal. It has been reported that the New York Jets again have signed Duane Brown to a 2-year, $22 million deal. All right. Now, we don't know the details of the contract as of now as I'm filming this. There's no hard details out, what he's getting in the first year, what he's getting in the second year, what's guaranteed. We don't know, right? But the Jets are probably most definitely going to have to do some cap finagling, right, to really get him his money. When you look at where we're at right now in the cap, what he's going to be getting paid. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they work that out. But he is in the building. He is a New York Jet, okay? So then the questions start to arise after that, okay? Now that we got Duane Brown, we know that Duane Brown is a left tackle. The question starts to come, and the first thing you think is, okay, well, we bring him in. Do we start him at left tackle and move Fant back to right tackle? The thing about that is Fant is not a good right tackle. No. Not a good right tackle. He struggled at right tackle. That was one of the reasons why there was no competition between him and Becton this year. They didn't want him switching back and forth, and a lot of people looked around and said, yeah, because he's way better at left tackle than he is at right tackle. He was awful at right tackle, right? So you got to wonder what exactly they're going to do with Duane Brown. Does he come in and immediately off the bat become a day one left tackle for the New York Jets? Okay. And if he doesn't, then are you really willing to move Fant back over to that right tackle spot where, again, we saw him struggle throughout, the time that he was over there? So we'll see what happens with that going forward. He's also going to be 37 pretty soon. Okay. And there's also a concern about his knees going forward. He's an older guy. So there's going to be some different things that the New York Jets might have to do with him. When he was in Seattle, what they did was they cut a lot of his practice reps to keep him fresh for the games. So I'm wondering if the New York Jets and this coaching staff are going to do the exact same thing for him when he comes here. So we'll see what was going on with that going forward. There's already people talking about how, oh, the Jets overpaid. The Jets overpaid. They overpaid for Duane Brown. The Jets are a clown franchise. There's already people coming out saying that. And I do want to know, possibly, if this ever comes out, what his asking price was before Mekhi Becton went down, right? Because I talked about this ad nauseum, especially on my latest show that I did, and salutes to all the savages and the callers that were out there. We discussed it, that that price absolutely was going to go up once we saw that Becton went down, right? Now, the Jets were in a tough spot. They were. And I think that Joe Douglas looked at the situation, and maybe he would have penny pinched before because Duane Brown was there at the green and white scrimmage, but got away, didn't sign him, right then. And they said, hey, we're still interested. We're trying to work things out, but the deal was not closed. But again, at that point, Becton was still healthy. Becton goes down. I'm very sure the price with Duane Brown went up. And Joe Douglas looked at this situation and said, hey, I can make this happen. I don't want to try to penny pinch or wait too long because the protection for Zach Wilson is paramount. You cannot go into this upcoming season with Zach Wilson in his second year looking at a situation where this kid is ready to take off. The Jets offense is ready to take off. We have so many weapons. Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, Braxton Berrios. You got Mims coming along. You got a running game, that is looking like it's really ready to go. You have two good tight ends. You got this kid going into his second year where he's ready to take off. You've given him all the weapons possible. Do not let this one position, which is a very important position, this left tackle position, or this tackle position, excuse me, do not let this position, sour what we got going forward. We saw Zach Wilson run for his life and get injured, get hit, all kinds of things last season when there was a lack of protection. Don't let that be the issue this upcoming season with him, with so much on the line. And I think that Joe Douglas, just did what it took. He did what it took, and he got this guy in the building. He absolutely did. And especially when you look at what was behind, without Duane Brown officially on the roster, they saw that the first practice without Mekhi Becton, the offensive line struggled. They gave up a ton of would-be sacks. Again, this is training camp, so of course they're not hitting Zach Wilson. A lot of would-be sacks in the next practice. There was a lot of struggling out there. You look at the issues that we've had at the backup guys this entire offseason through camp and stuff like that. They've struggled. Connor McDermott, whoa. Before that ankle injury, whoa. He has not been good. He's not been good. Chuma Edoga, up and down. And then you look at Max Mitchell, a guy that, out of the open competition, once Becton went down, again, there was the right tackle spot was wide open. Because Becton was no longer there, and it was between Chuma Edoga, Connor McDermott, and Max Mitchell. And, you would wonder, you look at Max Mitchell, who's a guy that, we drafted. He could be solid, but again, he's very raw. And there's a lot of things going on with him. He got to get his strength up. He's got to get rolling that way. There's a lot of question marks, and I don't think you want to, chance that going into this season because there's so much on the line. So I like what Joe Douglas did. I like that he got the job done. There was a lot of things, thrown out there for the New York Jets once Becton went down. There's a lot of people talking about trading for Andre Dillard, who would have been all right, a good solid move. But again, that move wasn't done and wasn't finished. There was other names as well. People were looking at Brian Bulaga and all these other guys. But Duane Brown, I think for pretty much everybody was the top name for us to bring in. Free agent guy, didn't cost you any future capital as far as draft picks or anything like that. And he's a guy that you can bring in and really get going. A veteran guy that understands, what he can do within this scheme, and he can be, put out there and be effective. But the question just becomes again, what side is he playing? That's the question, Oh man, there's so much fallout from this Becton injury. There truly is. And even with Mekhi Becton, you start to wonder. I look at him and I'm like, man, this guy's going to come back, what at this point looks like next season. And there's still questions about, hey, what do we do with him going forward? Do we trust that knee? Can we trust that knee? Do we always have to have an insurance policy for him? Or do the New York Jets look to move on from him next season, whether it be via the draft or signing some free agent? There's a lot of questions going forward, but I tell you what, the New York Jets have, have definitely done what they could to shore up this issue at tackle, bringing Duane Brown in. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about this signing? What are your thoughts about Duane Brown? How do you feel about Joe Douglas doing what it takes to get his guy in the building so that we can go for it? Comment down below. I want to hear from you folks. You folks have a good one. Peace.